Ruby, what you gonna do this whole time, huh? You wanna work out with us? So like I was saying, we're going to start off with a little bit of a slow-moving yoga flow. So we're going to start off our warm-up right from here, like in that email that I sent you beforehand. Our starting position is going to be our child's pose. So I want you to just make your way into your comfortable child's pose as you enter into this workout today, or as you start this video, as you turn on your computer. Get yourself situated, and then gently start to make your way into that child's pose. And this first time through each new position that we come through, I want to stay in it for at least 3 to 5 breaths. So I want to be taking a big, deep inhale in through my nose, out through my mouth in this child's pose. The crown of your head makes its way all the way down to the ground. My arms are outstretched in front of me. My palms are basically scraping back against that yoga mat. And that stillness is what we look for. The description of this workout, and I'm going to try to stay as true to it as I can. It's a slow-moving yoga flow to start us off, to get ourselves grounded, to get ourselves ready for our movement. And then throughout the workout, we're going to come back to our yoga. Hopefully at the midway point, we'll come to more of a fast-moving yoga flow. And at the end of our workout, we'll come back to a little bit more of a restorative yoga. So right now, we're in that child's pose. You're right around that 5th breath in that child's pose. So I want you to make your way to that baby upward-facing dog now. So you bring those hips towards the front of the mat and then towards the ground as well. Allow those hips to drop down to that mat. Turn the elbows towards the rib cage. Have a baby pushing up against your chest to correct your form. That's actually a nice little adjustment there. Archie's doing it too. Ruby's doing it. But yeah, that's the idea, is we want to make our upper body the longest point of our body, from our hips right through our shoulders, really long through the arms, but still comfortable in this upward-facing dog. Maybe take a look over your left shoulder. As you do, you feel that right hip start to lengthen. Stay there for a full breath. Then match that movement on the other side. Stay there for a full breath as well. Had to mute Lisa. You know Lisa always trying to take over classes. Upward facing dog. From this upward facing dog, I want you to make your way to a flat back now. So my neck is neutral. My hands are right under my shoulders. My knees are right under my hips. In the stillness in the first 2 positions was great, and that's what we were looking for. Now we want 1 breath to 1 movement for a couple of cat-cows. As I inhale, I drop my pelvis and look forward. As I exhale, I round my back and look down between my legs. Inhale, drop my back, maybe bring some bend into the elbows. Exhale, round that back. Exaggerate that motion as much as you can. We stay in each of those first 2 positions for 5 breaths. We're going to come through 5 rounds of this 1 breath to 1 movement, cat-cow. Like I said, exaggerate that movement as best you can, especially when you drop the head and raise that mid upper back, so that you're feeling that stretch through that upper back as you look down. Make your way back to that child's pose. Inhale in that child's pose. Exhale, stay in that child's pose. We were there for 5 breaths first time. Now we're only going to be here for 3 breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 1 more breath here. On that exhale, flow forward to that baby upward facing dog once again. That second time we come through it, we're already feeling a little bit looser and feeling like we're able to get those hips down towards that mat a little bit more. Elbows towards that rib cage. Still just 3 breaths. Our first one is straight up and down. Our second one, I look over my left shoulder. My right hip lengthens a little bit. Inhale, exhale, switch sides. Look over that right shoulder. Feel that left hip lengthen. And come back to that neutral tabletop once again. Just 3 cat-cows like we did 5 of those first 2 positions. We bring it down to 3 now. But really slow that movement down. 3 breaths, 3 reps. Breathing, dictating our movement from here on out. From here, let's push back to a downward facing dog. In that downward facing dog, I want to find stillness now. Just like we did in that child's pose and that upward facing dog the first couple of times, the stillness is what I want to focus on. but the breathing is still moving in through my nose, out through my nose, maybe mixing some exhales out through my mouth as well to even exaggerate that breathing, exaggerating all of our movements, all of our purpose to this workout today. Because we'll fake ourselves into a good workout if we didn't feel like we were going to have one today. Let the head just hang between the biceps here. Don't feel like you need to hold it up like I am to talk to you. Let that head just hang down between the biceps so you can look under your left arm or under your right arm. And that stillness is still our goal, but now I want you to make your way up to standing. From the standing position, I want to crisscross my arms. My fingertips are on the opposite elbows. The stillness in these positions is still our focus as we start this workout. And like I said, I wanted to start it off slow, some slow moving yoga. Progressing to some quicker moving stuff. But this whole first time, it's just about getting comfortable on the mat. Getting our Monday workout out of the way. Maybe it was a holiday Monday for you, so you didn't have work. Or maybe you had to go in and get your work done. But either way, it's Monday night now. And we're getting our first workout of the week out of the way together. And we're starting slow and smooth and getting stronger and faster together throughout. Release the arms. Let the head just hang. Let the fingertips just hang. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, come right back down. Same thing. Inhale, just come halfway up. The hands come to the knees. Exhale, come right back down. Let's come through that a couple more times now. Just the bottom half of this movement to start us off here. Coming halfway up. We're still feeling those hamstrings get loose with each movement that we do. But if anything, that upper back, those shoulders are still releasing any tension through the upper body. On our next inhale, let's come all the way up and find some stillness once again. The stillness that we're going to find is bringing two fists right into our lower back to drive our hips forward and keep our hearts open. Keep the chest open and look up towards the ceiling here in this position. Opening up that heart, feeling that stretch throughout the whole upper body, but also feeling those hips being forced to push forward so that it's making our bodies longer. Inhale, exhale, release the arms. And now it's back to one breath, to one movement. My inhale, I want to bring my arms way up towards the ceiling, that baby back bend at the top. My exhale, I want to root to reach, sweep my shoelaces, and land into that flat back. Come down before you come up. That big inhale is during that open heart at the top of this movement. 5 times through that. As slow as you can do it is what we're looking for here. Inhale on the way up. Exhale, slow and steady on the way down. And still exaggerating our movements just like we did from that very first cat-cow to now. Just doing what feels good in your body. Starting to really feel those arms open up. Get those shoulders ready for some upper body work. Feel those hamstrings, those hips loosen up at the top and the bottom of these movements. The next time that you come down, land into that flat back position. I'm pressing my hands into my upper shins. My back is flat. My neck is neutral. My breathing is controlled from this position here. Starting very slow and steady, but now we start to build some heat through our very first high plank of the day. So I want you to step back to a high plank and hold that high plank. Remember our plank, a good couple of cues for a good plank. Flat as a board, those hips aren't too high. Stiff as a board, the stomach is tight, the glutes are engaged, the upper body and shoulders are strong. And that breathing is what we're coming back to throughout this whole warm-up. We spent 5 breaths in our child's pose to start, 5 breaths in our upward facing dog, 5 breaths in our downward facing dog. It's a 5-breath hold in a high plank. The slower we go with those breaths, the better. The longer we're in this high plank, the better. Really starting to build that heat. But don't lose focus of the reason why you're here. That stomach is tight. That whole body is strict except for the breathing. One last breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inch forward and drop all the way down to the ground. Let it come up through a nice, easy cobra now. So my forearms come right down to the ground. And just like most of the things we've done so far, we go from holding a position for 5 breaths to coming to 1 breath to 1 movement for 5 breaths. So on my inhale now, my head is down on the ground. My whole upper body is down on the ground. On my exhale, I just want to slightly push up onto my forearms here and look up towards the sky. A little bit of a back bend from this prone position here. Inhale as that nose hits the mat. Exhale as the eyes and the chest and the heart comes open and up towards the sky. Rep number 3 has already come and gone. We're trying to get 5 reps in here, and we're feeling this maybe in that lower back, maybe in that upper back. Maybe you're feeling this in the triceps just from this pushing up off the ground position as well. But it's supposed to be low impact, and that's our purpose of this first couple of minutes of this workout. 1 more rep here, and let's make our way back to a child's pose now. Now we start to flow through a little bit more of a quicker moving progression through all these similar positions. Inhale in this child's pose. Exhale, flow forward to that baby upward facing dog. Remember, you could always land down to that child's pose whenever you need a break, whenever you need a rest from any of these positions that we come through. Inhale here, exhale, push back to that downward facing dog, and right away start to walk that dog in place. Bend the right knee as that left heel approaches the ground. Then same thing, vice versa on that other side. Walking that dog in place for a couple of reps, a couple of breaths. Exaggerating that movement by really shifting the hips side to side. And then walk those feet all the way up to the hands. Land into that folded forward position. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Baby back bend at the top. Inhale, exhale, root to reach, sweep the shoelaces, flat back, step back to that high plank and hold that high plank. We were 5 breaths here the first time, just 3 breaths here this time, but really tight, really strong as we enter this position. Inhale, exhale, hold it. Inhale, exhale, shift forward, drop down towards the ground, then come up through that upward facing dog. This time the knees are off the mat as they can be. Inhale, exhale, push back to that downward facing dog. Walk those feet up to the hands. That's going to be our progression now to finish out this whole first part of this warm-up. So we inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Baby back bend. Exhale, start it from scratch. Sweep those shoelaces flat back. Step back to that high plank. Hold that high plank just long enough to get into it. Feel that stomach, that core engage. Then inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Drop down towards the ground. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Walk, step, or even jump those feet up to the hands, landing into that flat back. Fold forward. Let's start to come through a little bit quicker now. Inhale, exhale, root to reach. Sweep those shoelaces flat back right into that chaturanga. Step or jump those feet back. High to low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Feet travel to the hands. Flat back. Fold forward. All the way up and open. One more time through it. Let's do it. Sweep those feet. Flat back. High to low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Land down onto those hands and those knees. Land into that child's pose. Drink some water up if you need it. And we are ready for our first couple of exercises. Coming back to a full body lift in between some of this yoga that we do today. First circuit that we're going to do is going to start us from the standing position. Standing bicep curls is going to be where we start. Bicep curls, we're going to go for 15 reps. We have 3 exercises to each circuit that we come through today in our strength work. Standing bicep curls is our first one. Let's get ready for it. We're on a 30-second timer, and we are off and running today. 15 reps, let's do it right now, come on. Strong base, strong athletic stance. Palms facing forward, heart is open. As promised, that slow-moving yoga flow to start. But now we come through higher intensity strength work, 2 strength exercises to every 1 ab exercise for these first couple that we do. From our standing bicep curls to a flat back chest press. Make your way down onto your back. Bring those dumbbells down with you. 15 reps is what we look for. Nice and quick now. Knees bent, feet flat. Weights are moving. But we don't just let those arms drop to the ground. We control them on the way down. Not cracking that funny bone at the bottom. 15 reps is our goal. Let those weights down. We come through. 90-degree leg raises. Hands under the butt for this first set. 90 degrees is the full range of motion here. Heels to the ground. Straight up over the hips with those toes at the top of it. 3 exercises. 2 upper body strength movements. 1 core strengthening movement. 1 baby cheering us on from the other room. 3 exercises. 3 sets will be our goal. Set number 2 transitions us up to standing now. Bicep curls. Let's get back to it now. Let's go. 15 reps. Smooth with our transitions. We go standing bicep curls to that chest press, but this time I want you to slow that pace down. Slow it down. Up with purpose, down with control. Only like 10 reps, maybe 12 if you're moving through fast. But torture yourself with that downtrend of these weights. 3 count on the way down, 1 count on the way up. And to get more out of our leg raises, I want you to try to hold these dumbbells up for this second set. Here, leg raises. Let's do it. If 2 dumbbells is too tough, use 1. If 1 dumbbell is too tough, throw the hands right back under the butt. That's fine. Modify if and when you need to. But we keep moving. We keep working throughout this workout now. Two sets down. 1 set to go. Transition like an athlete up to standing. Bicep curls. We are back to it. 15 reps, 3rd and final set. Only coming through it 3 times here. Toasting those arms in this first circuit. And down for that chest press once again, nice and quick with this to start. 10 quick reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now slow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 3. 3. Right through that buzzer. And we finish with those leg raises. 30 seconds of them. Core focus. Upper abs are feeling it. Lower abs are feeling it. Groovy bass feeling it. Three exercises, 30 seconds each. Each circuit we come through is 4.5 minutes long. And it only gives us 30 seconds to recover. 30 seconds to recover. Just started right there. Triceps coming up next. Bent over tricep extensions is coming back to start us off with this next circuit, okay? Bent over tricep extensions. Let's grab those weights. Let's get ready to go. Split stance. Hips back. Chest stays upright as we come down. Those dumbbells come up, and then we press back behind us. 12 reps, maybe 15 if you have light dumbbells, but somewhere in that range. Thinking about the extension of these arms. Not curling. We got the curls already. Triceps. That's what's working here. 12 to 15. Our next movement is a complex one. It's a squat to press using a single dumbbell or 2 dumbbells. But a single dumbbell looks like this here. Squat to press at the top. Squat to press. Now, modify if you need to. Maybe you just do squats, or maybe you just do presses, or maybe you throw Archie Walsh up over your head, if that's your modification. But either way, just try to do something, right? 12 reps is what we're looking for. Making our way to our high plank. High plank and hold it. In this high plank, that Spider-Man knee crunch towards the same side elbow. Right to right, left to left. That's what this circuit looks like. We are right back up now. Those bent over tries, coming back to it. "12 to 15 reps for 30 seconds. Welcoming that failure, welcoming that fatigue. Leave on your face. Oh, squat to press now. Let's go. Let's keep it going. Come back, B. I think it's coffee time for Ruby. 10 or 12 reps here. Legs working, arms working, breathing getting behind us. So we gotta get back in front of it. Bring that focus to that breathing. High plank, let's get back to it. Till end of this second set. No knee crunch. Right hand taps that left shoulder. Left hand taps that right shoulder. Two sets down, 1 set to go, bent over tries. Back to it now. Last set, form comes back to our focus. Squeeze the triceps, squeeze the upper arm. Squat to press, last minute of this circuit here. All 12 reps or all 30 seconds, or whatever you can. And back to that high plank to close us out here. High plank, we go. Knee crunch, shoulder tap, shoulder tap. Or if you want to try them, you can try both at the same time. Knee crunch to shoulder tap, knee crunch to shoulder tap. Welcome that modification. Welcome that push. Time. Drop down to those hands and knees. Quick drink as you make your way back down to your mat. We come back to a little bit of yoga flow now. As promised, as advertised, we started off with a slow-moving yoga flow. And we come back to where this whole workout started. Landing into our comfortable child's pose after a little bit of high intensity. Strength work mixed with core work. We find our way into our child's pose and we try to bring our focus back to our breathing. Let's take that 5 breaths here in this child's pose. to get ourselves back to grounded, back to a focus of flowing this time through in our yoga. So we started off with about 15 minutes of yoga. Like I said, starting very slow and controlled in each position, starting to make our way towards that faster flow near the end of it. This time we're going to spend about half that time. And the only time that we're going to be still is right now, so welcome it. You got about 2 breaths left in this child's pose. Each one should be longer than the next, with nothing but gratitude in each breath. Some self-gratitude for you showing up, some gratitude for the others that are in this group, some gratitude for the others in your life. Inhale in this child's pose. Now let's put that gratitude to some motion now. Exhale, flow forward to that baby upward facing dog. Look over your left shoulder. Feel that right hip lengthen. After those squats, those legs are starting to feel it now. Look over that right shoulder. Feel that left hip lengthen. Back to neutral. And back to our downward facing dog. Stick it and hold it. A slow moving walking of the dog. I bend my right knee as my left heel approaches the ground. I stay here for a full breath. Other side, shift those hips so that right heel approaches the ground. Inhale. Exhale everything out. Walk those feet up to the hands, landing into that folded forward position. We inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. We start to flow now. Inhale all the way up, baby back bend. Exhale, root to reach. Sweep those shoelaces, flat back. High plank and hold it. Inhale. Exhale, we stay in that high plank. Inhale, still in this high plank. Exhale, inch forward, that slow moving chaturanga, upward facing dog. Exhale through to that downward facing dog. Walk those feet up to the hands. We are starting to flow once again now. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up, baby back bend. Exhale, root to reach. Sweep those shoelaces flat back. High plank, holding it just for a split second. On the exhale, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Walk, step, or jump those feet up to the hands now. Flat back. Fold forward. All the way up. And open one more time through that progression before we add to it. Flat back. High to low plank for that chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Walk, step, or jump those feet up to the hands. Flat back. Fold forward. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, come to a chair pose. Kick the hips back. Keep that heart open. That chest back. Those hips are back, and then try to sink those hips down just a little bit more. Feet are closer than shoulder width apart. Knees are really close to each other. Building some heat in this chair pose. Feeling those legs fire up. Arms are straight up over the shoulders. Bring those warrior arms into play here. Cut the body in half. Sweep those feet flat back. High plank and hold it. In this high plank, peel open so that your left arm comes up towards the sky and hold that high plank here. Left arm is high. That right oblique should be feeling this. Bring those hips up a little bit higher if it's not. Drop that left hand down. Bring that right arm up. Still, those hips are high so that that left oblique is now feeling it. Back to that high plank. Pushing back to a downward facing dog. Really shift the body weight back towards the heels. Bring the body weight to the lower half of the body now. Trying to take the pressure off the shoulders. Raise your right leg up and peel it open. Drop your right foot. Raise your left foot and peel it open. Drop that left foot, bend those knees, walk, step, or float those feet up to the hands. Flat back, fold forward. Still come all the way up through that baby back bend before coming to that chair and holding that chair. Hips are back, hips are down, chest is back, arms are up, arms are straight, legs are fired up now. Really starting to flow. Sweep those shoelaces flat back. High plank and hold it. Left arm comes up first, peel it open and hold it. Inhale, exhale, bring that left hand down. Right arm comes up and hold. Right hand comes down from that high plank. We push back to that down dog. This time we raise our left foot up and peel it open before stepping that left foot to the left hand for warrior one on this side. Stick that warrior position here. Drop that lower body down. Feel those legs fired up. That back foot is flat down on the ground. Bring those hands down. Push back to that down dog. Raise that right foot up and peel it open. Step that right foot to the right hand. Warrior one on this side now. Progressing through all of this, but sticking these positions. Generous bend in that front knee. Back leg is straight. Hands come down. Back to that down dog. Bend those knees. Jump those feet up to the hands. Flat back. Fold forward. All the way up and open. Chair. Fold. Sweep those feet flat back. High plank and hold it. Left hand comes way up. Left hand comes down. Right hand comes way up. And down. Downward facing dog. Walk the feet so that they are right next to each other in the back of that mat. That left leg comes up first and peels open before stepping that left foot between the hands for warrior two down the center of our mat. Right from here, we come to an extended side angle. Left forearm to that front left quad. Right arm is up and forward. Without moving the legs at all, reverse that warrior. Left arm comes up. Cartwheel those hands down. Pushing back to that downward facing dog. The feet are still together and back. Right leg comes up. Peels open. Right foot between the hands. Warrior two. Final side. Extended side angle, reaching forward. Reversing that warrior. Cartwheeling those hands down, pushing back to that downward facing dog, landing down onto the hands and the knees. Pushing back to a child's pose or drinking some water up. Whatever you need now. Faster flowing yoga, as advertised, as promised. But now we come back to some higher intensity lifting as well. First circuits that we came through was 3 exercises, 30 seconds each. These next ones are 2 exercises only. Coming back through, we want to get the bis and the tris one more time. The biceps we're going to get by way of hammer curls, all right? Hammer curls are starting us up here. Coming through the tail end of this workout now. Ooh. All right, here comes that buzzer. Burning out those biceps. Hammer curls. Feet parallel. Dumbbells right up to the shoulders. Up and down we go. 15 reps. Palms facing each other. That's that hammer grip. We're not swinging the hips at all. We're not swinging the upper arms at all. The form is focused here. $15 reps is what we're looking for here. Letting those weights down off the mat or at least towards the center of the mat so that they're out of your way. Mountain climbers, 20 seconds. Let's do it. 20 seconds only. Far and wide between the feet. Feet are moving. Breathing's controlled. Core's engaged. Shoulders are strong. Time. That gives us 10 seconds to make our way back up. Toes to these biceps. We are right back to our hammer curls. Hammer curls. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Hammer curls. 15 reps or 30 seconds. Toasting those biceps. Still keeping that form right even as we fatigue. Modifications can be by way of alternating curls or single dumbbell curls, palms facing each other. And we're back to those mountain climbers now. Time, 10 seconds to recover. 2 sets down. 1 set to go. Hammer curls is where we finish up this third set. 2, 1, let's go. All 15 reps. Let's go. Talk yourself into it now. Pushing through that fatigue to find that failure. But push that failure back a little bit more than you think you can. Third and final set of those mountain climbers. 20 seconds, we are gone. Time. Hands and knees, we got 40 seconds recovery. Bringing us to our next circuit coming up. Like I said, we wanted to get a second exercise for our biceps, which we just did. And now a second exercise for our triceps, which we will do by way of an overhead tricep extension. 2 dumbbells if you can. A single dumbbell if you need to. Split stance to protect that lower back. Strong through the lower body. Strong through our starting position. A single dumbbell if you need to, or 2 dumbbells. But either way, it's 15 reps. Hinging at the elbows, pressing that weight or those weights straight up overhead. You can do it with a dumbbell wide like I'm doing it, or with a dumbbell close here. Let's do it. Split stance, stomach tight, core engaged. 15 reps. Should be just about there now. We got low impact burpees coming up. 20 seconds only. It's that high plank, wide feet, stand tall. High plank, stick it, wide feet, stand tall. As many reps in as you can in this 20 seconds. Time. That's what this circuit looks like. We got 2 more sets of it coming back. Overhead triceps, 12 to 15 reps. Just started there. Let's do it. "12 to 15 reps. Tail end of this workout now. Still practicing that positive self-talk. That gratitude, that self-gratitude. Thank yourself for getting in as many burpees as you can right now. High plank at the bottom. Wide feet, stand tall at the top. Time. Last set here, we get back to it. Overhead tries. Let's do it. Hinge, extend. Hinge, extend. Elbows don't sway to the outside at all. Don't let those elbows come out here. Keep them tight over the shoulders. 12 to 15 reps. Last 20 seconds of these burpees. Come on. That does it for those burpees. I want you landing down into that child's pose. Where we started this day is going to be where we start to finish it. So we land down into that child's pose. Knees are wide, big toes together, and just sink back. Hips to the heels, butt sinking down nice and low. Arms way outstretched in front of you. And just allow the crown of that head to rest on this yoga mat. Think about how different this position feels compared to that very first one of the night. Maybe you didn't want to be here. Maybe it was the last place you wanted to be. Maybe you didn't want to get a workout in. Maybe you felt tight. Maybe you felt aggravated, anxious, whatever it was. And now just think about how different you feel about your body, about your mind, about your day after 45 minutes of movement. But we finished back in these similar positions to bring to almost a focus of restoration to close this workout up. So we're deep in this child's pose. From here, I do want to come back to that baby upward facing dog gently. Knees are down on the mat, hips drop down towards the mat. And same idea, just reflect on how we're feeling, right? First couple of times through this, felt like cardboard through my hips that was just about to rip. Now, maybe they ripped a little bit, but I felt a little bit looser here. And even if I don't or you don't, just think about how much better you feel about that 45 minutes that you just used to better your body, better your mind, better your day, better yourself. From here, look over that left shoulder and feel that right hip lengthen. Same thing on that other side, looking over that right shoulder. That left hip is lengthening. Back to neutral. Neutral tabletop position here. What I want to do is I want to take my left arm, heel it way open towards the top of my ceiling here, and hold it here for a breath. A lot of upper body work, even in just that yoga that we did, but chest press, some of the high planks and stuff like that. So you're probably feeling that in the shoulder right now. But from here, what I want to do is I want to bring that left arm under, and my left shoulder comes all the way down to the mat. My left ear comes down to the mat. My right arm comes way out, extended in front of me. Feeling a good, gentle stretch through the back, through the shoulders. Maybe through the hips if you're super tight like I am. But we find static positions to bring this workout to a close, allowing our body to kind of fall back into place. Especially those target areas that we focused on today. The shoulders got a lot. Let's get that same stretch on the other side. Now my right arm comes up. We hold it open up at the top at first. A couple of deep breaths in this position here. On that next exhale, drop that shoulder down to the ground, that right ear down to the mat, that left arm extended out in front of you. And sinking into the stillness of this position here. Let's make our way over onto our backs, laying all the way down flat on our backs. I want you to hug both knees up to your chest. Find some stillness right away in this position here. So just applying some gentle pressure to the knees, feeling that good stretch through the hamstrings, maybe through the hips. If like I said, you're tight like I am, my hips are super tight, so I'm feeling this here. But also just that pressure of the feet, of the weight of the legs is giving us a little bit of some tension to that lower back, maybe. Continue holding your right knee. Let your left leg fall all the way down to the ground. Just allowing your head to relax down onto the mat and still bring yourself towards some feeling of gratitude for showing up. Giving yourself a pat on the back for showing up. for getting through it. Switch sides now. Bring that left knee up gently. Let that right leg fall down. Let that left leg fall to the ground. I want you to turn your palms so they're facing up towards the sky. We took 5 breaths in a child's pose to start this day. Let's take 5 breaths in this corpse pose here. Just allowing ourselves to feel whatever we feel after that workout. Like I said, positivity is key in these moments, but let your mind go where it does. 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale, gently roll over to one side, making your way up to a seated position. Give yourself a hand for showing up. Give yourself a hand for getting through it. Thank you guys for coming out. And have a great rest of the week, all right? I'll be back here in the virtual world next Monday, all right? Ciao, guys.
Thank you.